Hello and welcome to Cinematography. I'm Don Perignon, saving you from getting ripped off. You know, a lot of people don't realize, but the 50s is one of this country's greatest eras. No, I'm serious. Granted, it might not have all been bed and roses, but a lot of great things happened in that decade.
Baseball was dominated by the Yankees and the then New York Giants and Brooklyn Dodgers. Televised hockey took off, and it was the first time they started using the Zamboni machine to smooth the ice. Chuck Cooper was drafted to the Boston Celtics, becoming the first black player in the NBA. Not to mention John Wayne, Frank Sinatra, and Marilyn Monroe all became celebrity icons that decade.
There were also a lot of technological advances that was a cataclysm for many of the things we use today. For instance, uranium was first turned into plutonium during that decade. It was also a time period responsible for the invention of the credit card, the pill, the first computer modem, the first microchip, the first video recorder, and my personal favorite, the process to freeze McDonald's French fries so they can ship them to any restaurant and they taste just as good. The point I'm getting at before this goes on too long is with so many good things coming out of the 50s, certain aspects had to suffer in order to balance out the equivalent exchange. Unfortunately, one of those aspects had to be the movie genre.
Now don't get me wrong, there are a lot of great movies from the 50s, but most of them, particularly in horror, were like the one we're going to be looking at today, Attack of the Giant Leeches.
Which is exactly what the name inscribes. Something tells me you're never going to see this on TCM.
So you thought of disrespect? How far can you take that bullshit? Now it's time to get this shit on! Oh, that's wrong! Oh, that's wrong! Oh, that's wrong! Oh, that's wrong! All bets are off! All bets are off. Bang!
Our movie opens up with a drunken hillbilly out in the swamp where he sees something weird in the water. Naturally, his first response is to fucking shoot it.
It's coming right for us!
Just keep swigging on that moonshine there, pal. It's certainly not the cause of your hallucinations. This brings us to our title card, whose music sounds like it was stripped straight out of a Looney Tunes cartoon. I keep expecting to see Porky Pig pop out of the screen any minute.
Oh, son of a gun. You thought I was going to say, son of a bitch, didn't you?
I wouldn't blame you if you did, Porky. Everyone knows that Giant Spider Invasion is a much better movie to steal Looney Tunes sound effects for. What's that? Written by Alexander Laszlo? No wonder it sounds like it was written by someone with hooves. Because it fucking was!
Oh, son of a bitch.
The drunk is in the town convenience store trying to tell the boys what he saw, but the owner's wife is playing her music too loud, so the owner decides to have a talk with her about it.
Oh, come on like this first.
Oh, don't bother me.
Liz, someday I'm going to give that she-cat a whopping she's been asking for.
You see, kids, although frowned upon today, back in the 50s it was okay to hit your wife, especially if you was a drunken redneck living in the swamp. Then it was encouraged.
While the shop owner pretends to play Alabama Man.
I thought I told you to shut up.
The drunk continues on with his story. Naturally, no one believes him when they say there's a sort of monster inside of a swamp in the middle of the night while chugging on a giant jug of moonshine. I mean, that's the type of thing you only hear about in a really shitty 50s horror movie. Oh.
Lem, you sure that critter wasn't pink?
Oh, I told you before, it was sort of gray looking.
No. Don't make fun of the town drunk. Don't you know he's always right?
You know, just once I would like to see it work the way it's supposed to. You know, like the sheriff or the scientist being the ones who are right because they're the sheriff or the fucking scientist.
And the town drunk being wrong because he's a drunk.
I guess drinking gives you clairvoyance. No wonder advertisement executives are so successful. Back to these two, the shop owner is whining about his wife's behavior while she's busy trying to seduce the director.
Look, it's not like I want to be mean or anything like that, Liz, baby. But I got a reputation around here. These folks have no respect for a man who lets his woman boss him. Well, next thing I know, they'll be laughing at me.
Dude, look at her, and then look at the ones they're with. I really don't think they're the ones that should be laughing.
What's that? A little leg action. Looks like this movie's about to pick up. And if you think this movie wasn't getting risque enough, prepare for the quarter Monty.
You see, back in the 50s, this was considered rated R. And if you're a Mormon, it still is.
Alright, enough with the Real Housewives of Arkansas. It's time to meet our hero of the movie. This is Steve, who is a game warden. Not exactly sure what that is, but according to this movie, his job details include stopping poachers from poaching small defenseless animals and hanging around swamps, I guess. He's out with his girlfriend, whose name I don't remember, and I don't care to remember, so I'm just going to call her Betty, trying to catch some poachers and are disarming their traps.
Be careful, darling. These people aren't like other folks. You know, they'll try and get back at you.
Let him try.
Steve, you're a stranger here. They've lived this way for generations. One man isn't going to change them overnight.
Well, there is one man that could.
The two are making out because trap disarming gets her hot, I guess, when they hear a scream. Yes, dear, a shoddy makeup job can be very scary. Steve notifies Sheriff Mayberry about the incident, who doesn't really seem to give a damn.
The coroner ruled that Sawyer died by misadventure.
Say what now?
The coroner ruled that Sawyer died by misadventure.
Killed by misadventure? I gotta say, not a bad way to go.
Now, as far as this officer's concerned, that's the end of it.
But, Sheriff, I can't see why
Look,
they're...
if Lem was killed by anything human, I wouldn't need you to tell me my job.
Well, you can't argue with logic like that. It's not a human crime, so it's not his problem. I'd just like to see you try and dispute that one, Steve.
Oh, go soak your fat head.
What was that you said?
I said go soak your fat head.
Touché, Steve. Touché. Man, all this black and white is really hurting my eyes. How about we add a little color?
Steve goes to see Betty's father, who was the one who did the autopsy on the body.
You see, the octopi uses its suction discs to hold its prey. Now, in itself, the disc will not inflict a wound. Same is true of the squid. Now, both creatures have a parrot-like beak as their primary offensive and defensive weapon.
Well, thanks. That was educational. What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
You know, I'm beginning to think Lem was telling the truth in Walker's store. He did see something that night.
Which is movie code for, Steve, you should go out and spend all day looking for and finding no signs of a monster that nobody believes exists, even though we know it really does exist because it's killing people and was seen by the town drunk. Meanwhile, the Louisiana Fred and Ethel are having an argument before he goes out to make a delivery. His friend Cal is outside and asks him what all the yelling was about. Well, that's easy. I'm assuming she just found out that all the inventory in the store is fake.
Ever since Lem got herself killed, she wants me to sell out and move into town.
Don't you let her bamboozle you, Dave. You keep her right here in the store. After all, the place wouldn't be the same without you around.
Yeah, how else is he gonna fuck your wife?
Aw, come on, dude. You couldn't wait at least 15 minutes after he left to fuck his wife? What if he had forgotten some plastic peas? The shop owner discovers them fucking in the swamp and decides that the best way to get even is to chase them around with his shotgun. I would play some comical music to this, but it's not worth prolonging the review. After making them get into dirty swamp water, he forgives them just in time to watch them become Monster Child. Of course, since this is the town that's dumb as fuck Florida, nobody believes him and thinks he killed his wife and his friend, despite the fact that there's already been 2 sightings of this thing and 1 mysterious death. Hey Glenn, guess what? They found evidence proving your innocence. You'll be out of here by this after... The doctor wants to dynamite the area of the swamp where the people died at, but Steve won't let him because it's a wildlife preserve and he doesn't believe that there's anything unusual going on in there.
There's one argument against that, Steve. Dave Walker wasn't the kind of a man to hang himself, not even with 2 murder charges against him.
Know a lot of suicide victims there, Doc? Back at the swamp, 2 of the locals are looking for the bodies for the $50 reward when they're attacked by the monsters, which look like this octopus thing.
If this movie is called Attack of the Giant Leeches, then why are they fucking octopuses? They're not the same thing!
They take the 2 back to their lair in their underground cave. Why is it in the 50s everyone had a lair in some underground cave? That must have caused a ton of confusion back then. Oh boy, what a haul. There's gonna be some good eating tonight. You said it, dude. I'm so hungry I could...
Can I help you?
Oh, my bad, dude. Boy, is our faces red. We're in the wrong cave. We'll just take these and go back to... Yeah, we're just gonna...
Just roll it! Hurry, roll it!
Home sweet home. You know, you don't really realize how heavy these things are until you gotta carry them all. You see, this is why I don't like going out drinking with you. You get drunk, and then you don't remember where the damn cave is. Oh, here we go. It's all my fault. I don't see you remembering where the cave is. Oh, I remember where it is, but you refuse to listen to anything I say. I told you we should have taken that left at Albuquerque, but no! Now that 2 more people have gone missing, once again, the doctor suggests that they use dynamite in the area, but Steve still refuses.
Why must you be such a...
Stubborn pighead?
Exactly.
Because I'm an American.
The doctor sets off dynamite in the swamp anyway, bringing up 3 dead bodies who were moving around right before the explosion, so I assume that they drowned when he did that. Way to go, Doc. Even though the autopsy reveals that they were killed the exact same way as the town drunk, Steve is still a skeptic and refuses to blow the shit up out of that damn swamp.
Ben Affleck would be ashamed. In America.
Because the shop owner's wife is still missing, Steve decides to go diving into the swamp to look for her body.
Steve! Be careful, please.
Yeah, Steve. You wouldn't want to ruin that perfect head of hair. While underwater, he comes across one of the creatures and shoots it with a harpoon gun, but it's still alive while the shop owner's wife dies.
You see, back in the 50s, dramatic music always played when you died. That way, people won't confuse you with just being drunk. Okay, that one was a little lame. Give me some time, I'll come up with a better one.
Whoops, looks like someone forgot to put their bra on this morning.
Okay, how about this one? You see, back in the 50s, dramatic music always played when you died. That way, when you saw St. Peter's and he looked into the book of your life, there'd be at least one interesting thing in it. I'm sorry. I've been off all day. I mean, hell, I'm in black and white for Christ's sakes.
Using recycled footage, Steve shoots the thing again, and it's still alive.
My God, Jaws was easier to kill than these things.
And he was a giant fucking shark. Having been saved by his friends, Steve finally decides to dynamite the fucking swamp, killing 2 of the monsters, but 1 survives. The end.
Unfortunately, in the 50s, anything related to the toilet was considered not showable on the screen. Because if we could see what these things crapped out, I'm pretty fucking sure it would be this movie.
I wish I could use the excuse that it was the time period in which this movie was made, but when you look at a movie like Streetcar Named Desire or The Thing from Outer Space, all excuses just go out the window. The movie doesn't even know the difference between a leech and a fucking octopus.
I'm Don Perignon, saving you from getting ripped off.
London's Greek and Cypriot community cheers Archbishop Makarios as he attends church, following word that his exile from Cyprus has been ended. Another step following the agreement on the independence of Cyprus toward soothing the scars that still remain after the long crisis over the Mediterranean island, British-owned with largely Greek and Turkish population. Now Britain, Turkey, and Greece join Cyprus itself in rejoicing over the end to a reign of bitterness and terror. The Archbishop was a leader of the nationalists whose claim for enosis, union with Greece, has been relinquished. An angry quarrel that disrupted NATO's southeastern...
Is it over?
Killed by misadventure?